We've gathered together a panel of industry experts to talk about Ramularia. We've got Bill Clark, Jonathan Blake, Fiona Burnett, Stephen Kildare and Tom McCabe. Ramularia has become an increasing problem in barley because of resistance to fungicides and because of fundamental difficulties in identifying the disease in the field.
At the moment, chlorothalonil is absolutely key in managing it. It's broken strobilurins. We've got big issues with the azoles, the SDHIs. Historically, had broken MBCs as well. So it's a really rapid thing.
It used to be a Scottish problem, but as you say, I mean, the fact that it's now appeared everywhere, I've had more concern about it from our members down on the south coast and Hampshire, where they're just not used to seeing it. The curious thing about the identification of it is it's a problem for us doing trials, but when the advisor or the farmer's spraying, there are no symptoms when they're spraying. So the disease identification is a problem for us doing trials, but not really for the farmers. But it's clearly chlorothalonil is the only thing that we can get consistent control with. My long-term hope is that we will just get some good disease resistance in varieties. But I think a combination of things, whether it's a host defense trigger or it's a seed treatment or something that keeps the crop green, something that de-stresses the crop,
that might be helpful.
That might be the only way forward.
And again, we've actually had examples of seed treatments in trial where you could manage the Ramularia levels in the seed, but because of that very strong environmental driver through the season, any level of Ramularia coming through was still a problem. And again, we go back to the problems with managing fungicide resistance. If you've used something effective as a seed treatment, inevitably you've taken a tool out the box.
When I was saying about the seed treatment, I didn't mean to control the Ramularia on the seed.
Exactly,
as a host defense trigger.
But whether that would trigger enough throughout the whole growing season?
Well, I think it's unlikely, but I think if you have a combination of treatments, you're not going to get one treatment that's going to replace chlorothalonil.
I think forecasting would be really helpful, but forecasting only works if you have a reliable solution.
I should say we do want something to kill the barley crop also. And there's a certain point where actually we don't need to keep it green. Unlike wheat, we don't need to keep it green and green and green. And it does come back to that timing aspect. That actually 59, okay, maybe if you're looking for fusarium control, possibly there. But actually the timing for foliar pathogens is probably that paintbrush or a little bit earlier.
No, but I mean, that's true.
Carries it to that point.
We've made that niche, so that extra yield and quality that you get from an extra week or 10 days green leaf is really important to growers. And we didn't used to have that pre-other chemistry, pre-strobilurins, SDHIs. So we've made this little green niche late in the season for Ramularia to live in and be a problem to us.
So getting on top of it early at that 39, terpal timing as people call it, and then letting it take its course.
Get it to a certain point is basically, because I think we can see it through shading crops and physiological work that actually the crop can compensate by the amount of sugars that has been created. And just getting it to that point is what's required.
The timing one's interesting in that so long as you're on before the key stress, the timing is good, but you're only wise on that. So, we've data that shows somewhere between the booting to year emergence tends to be the most effective. The risk if you go early is you compromise, you're on a little bit too early.
I mean, looking ahead to what the scenarios might be, we may be looking at a disease which once every so often is going to do damage, and we're just going to have to live with that uncertainty, which is not an appetizing scenario when we've been used to solutions and control and insurance that this won't, I mean, it wasn't a nice scenario in the mid-1990s or the late 1990s.